Hello everybody, I'm back here for round 2 of the Q&A challenge. Yes, this is once again the real voice behind ElliYeet, but this time, I don't think I need to beat around the bush with a longer intro. If you want to know the context behind this video and why I'm speaking with my real voice this time, please watch the original Q&A video from last month on the channel, as that explains everything. Link in the description. Alright, now that little brief intro is out of the way, let's begin round 2 of the Q&A. From Layla the Metallica fangirl, what is your favourite Stevie T video? Very interesting way to start the video. I would say Stevie T, the most popular choices would be his hidden messages in backwards songs videos, or the misheard song lyrics videos, which were a primary influence into making the misheard song lyrics series, and keeping it going till this day. But I'm not gonna go for those popular answers. In my book, there was that one video he did before his 2 million subscriber special. I forget what the name of the video is called, but in it, what he basically did to celebrate his upcoming 2 million subscriber water bowl video is he played all his guitars, and his bass guitars, and whatever he used for all his background instrumentals, just to make a really awesome track. Just proving that he's more than just like a comedy YouTuber who does a lot of, let's be honest, very weird stuff.
I don't wear pants, 'cause I find them constricting. I don't know what you thunk. There's just no room for my junk.
But he does it very well, and it also just proves that he's also very talented of a guitarist, so I can't complain. From Jman77, what is your opinion on the Resident Evil series? And if you're a fan, what is your favourite game? Unfortunately, I never ever played the Resident Evil games. I certainly know of the big ones, and the games that are most acclaimed from the series, but honestly, with Resident Evil, I knew it more for the movies, which is probably sacrilegious to say out loud. But I don't know, My Plague was on the Resident Evil movie, that was cool. Other than that, not really big into Resident Evil. Would be nice to find out where I could start though, whether it's from the oldies or the remasters. I'd be up for trying them eventually, hopefully. From Elias Hug, what will your future content look like now you've revealed your voice? Honestly, my voice is probably going to be still like limited to mainly Q&As, and I probably clarified that in the original Q&A video, but I wouldn't be against the idea of using my voice on random occasions or even collaborations online with YouTubers, or heck, I might even use it as background commentary for old videos or subscriber specials. Certainly not against using my voice more often, especially with future Q&As, but I'll just have to see. From your girl Anna, are you a fan of anime? If so, what do you like? Not too big into anime, it's probably not my thing honestly, but I really do like Dragon Ball Z, mainly because of the art style, the crazy animation, and all the memes that have come from it.
The Terminator's got a new son! Meet my boy!
Though I haven't really watched the show myself, I've only seen specific clips from it. Wouldn't mind visiting anime. Just not really my thing though. From Andre Views, I hope that's how I pronounce it. What is your favourite TV show and your favourite episode from said show? Honestly, very popular choice. I'm gonna be picking Breaking Bad. I remember watching it during the pandemic and recently rewatching it for the Michael Meters series, and it was really one of the best TV shows I've seen, period. Obvious answer to the episode question is Ozymandias, but trying to pick one of them is absolute hell. I probably shouldn't need to explain it if you've already seen Breaking Bad. Go watch it. Genuinely, it's one of the best TV shows of all time. And also watch Better Call Saul if you can. Also from your girl Anna, what is your favourite hair metal band if you have one? I'm pretty sure Van Halen counts, especially for their earlier period with David Lee Roth, but I could also understand them being not hair metal and more of an alternative rock band, or hard rock band from the past. I could say similar things about Guns N' Roses, but much like Van Halen, they also became something more different from a hair metal band, especially during the 90s. If you're saying as in like a full hair metal band, I don't know. There's a lot of really bad stuff that comes from the hair metal scene. Even the most notable bands who went through that phase, such as Motley Crue, Kiss, Poison, and practically this entire video from Crash Thompson about the worst rock hits of 1990, which you should absolutely watch, by the way. It really picked the worst of hair metal right before grunge came over and rightfully took its place. See, with hair metal, the party lifestyle is permanently going to be stuck in the 80s. Like, there's no way they're going to be making it much better unless you like a parody of it, like Steel Panther or something. Just not really big on hair metal, and I don't particularly like listening to it unless it's Van Halen or Guns N' Roses. From Jacob 2004, what is your favourite song from a band or artist that you dislike? Oh boy, this is really poor timing, but I'll still answer it anyway. I'll go with Rearranged by Limp Bizkit. First of all, I want to make the important reminder that we recently lost the bassist of Limp Bizkit, Sam Rivers, at 48 years old last week. And that's really sad news from like a band that, even if I'm not a big fan of mainly Fred Durst's vocals and rapping, which I have gone on record I am not a fan of, the band themselves behind Fred Durst were always really talented with their instruments. Not just Wes Borland or John Otto or DJ Lethal, but Sam Rivers himself. And speaking of him, he makes a really good bass line in this song that I absolutely adore and love playing.
Just think about it.
And it's even one of the few songs where Fred Durst is actually giving it all. His best performance probably on a Limp Bizkit song, which is just crazy. Side note, I have heard and seen footage of Limp Bizkit live, and it actually looks really damn awesome. I'd actually really want to see them live. Maybe I'll be won over by them then. Ah well, it is what it is. I still think the 90s era of a band, while it has its high points, has a lot of really mixed bags and even some really bad songs. And don't even get me started on Results May Vary.
Learn how to rap as a little boy. Took a lot of crap as a little boy. Always had to fight back as a little boy. Always under attack as a little boy.
I guess I'm doing something right. That's what happened back in Columbine. You gotta know when to stop and don't go over the top.
But I have no ill will towards the bandmates at all, especially after what they're going through now. Just, if you are a fan of Limp Bizkit, you are absolutely free to support them after what they are going through right now. It's just tragic for everyone. Also from your girl Anna, if you want, do you think you could do a W.A.S.P misheard lyrics video? See, W.A.S.P I actually forgot to mention on one of the previous questions. I think they're actually also one of the good examples of a hair metal band, though I haven't heard enough of their discography to see if I can confirm that myself. Now in terms of misheard lyrics, I haven't really heard any misheard lyrics from them in proper, but maybe I could make a video out of it. I'd have to really stretch, so if you could provide me examples, that would be neat. From Sam's Epic Gaming, what is your favourite song to play on the bass? See, in the last Q&A video, I already mentioned that one of my favourite things to play is jazz music, and probably one of the first bass lines that really stuck with me when I was growing up was I Wish from Stevie Wonder, which I absolutely adore playing the walking bass line to this very day, whether I'm playing by myself or when I get the chance to play in a jazz funk band myself, which I did used to back in the past. In case you're wondering, where I first heard it, of all things, was freaking Happy Feet. God, that was a weird time, wasn't it? But of course, you can find the song on Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life album, his best album, and the one you should absolutely hear from him. Go listen to it. From Could Be Something, favourite music video of all time. I don't typically watch music videos and rate them from quality, so if we're talking about a music video that's so bad it's good, I'd probably have to go for the one by Journey, which is Separate Ways, where they're literally playing without instruments and it's all just them mimicking it. But if we're talking about like high quality music videos, I don't know, I guess the popular choice would be November Rain by Guns N' Roses. But I don't know, music videos I don't typically pick out, I just pick out the songs. Also from Sam's Epic Gaming, what is the worst album you have ever listened to? Just watch the previous Q&A, you already know which album it is. But I can answer this question by telling you the second worst album that I've ever heard, and what was my number one worst album of all time. Nostalgia Critic's The Wall. I probably don't need to explain it if you know the story behind it, but here's a few videos if you want to look into why Nostalgia Critic's The Wall is so bad. It's honestly one of the worst parody albums of all time. And it was a travesty so bad that if the channel Awesome allegations didn't destroy his reputation, then this video probably did. And I mean, this video. It's not an album to me. And I wish I never had morbid curiosity of it. Even Doug Walker and many of the people involved with that album, including Rob Scallon of all people, regret ever making that. Don't fall into it with morbid curiosity, it's exactly as bad as you've heard it is. From Michan 2.0, who has asked me to call him Michi in this video. What's your opinion on Nathan Foley from High Five? As in High Five, the TV show for kids? I looked more into it, and that's all I really know about. I've never really watched High Five, which is odd because it's another Australian TV show that was airing when I was growing up, so I don't know enough of him. From Gabriel Pahiva, favourite debut album of all time. I'm just gonna make this very easy. Bat Out of Hell by Meatloaf. Genuinely one of the best debut albums of all time. Genuinely one of the greatest goth rock albums of all time. It sounds ridiculously good for 1977. And even though I obviously wasn't born at that time, my parents absolutely loved that album, and it was also the biggest selling album in Australia. Yes, Meatloaf did have his ups and downs in his career, and he did briefly sour his reputation here with the infamous grand final performance of 2011. I won't play any further clips of that is not good. But one really terrible performance does not diminish the quality of Bat Out of Hell. You absolutely need to hear it. Also from Layla the Metallica fangirl, if the Beatles weren't a rock band, which genre of music do you think they would play? In my opinion, the Beatles would have played deathcore and gent if they weren't a rock band. See, deathcore and gent didn't exist back in that time, so I don't know, my best guess is that the Beatles probably could have become a prog rock band? I don't know, prog rock would have really just fit for them. I mean, now we have like the surviving members of the Beatles, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, doing their own music, so maybe they could have turned into that. But I don't know, it is what it is, the Beatles have been dead since 1970. And no, that does not include Paul McCartney, he is still very much alive as of this time. Also from JMan77, what is your favourite album from the big five of grunge? I'm including Stone Temple Pilots because they're great. And of those, what is your favourite album? See, that's a really hard one to pick because Pearl Jam, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots is not an easy challenge at all. Maybe, like in terms of discography rankings, there'd be like a few obvious ones to pick at the bottom. But if I'm talking about the best one, I know, I'll probably have to agree with you on Dirt. That is genuinely one of the best grunge albums of all time. I absolutely adore that album. From Rock of All Ages, what are some hidden talents that you have? Well, I've already discussed this on the channel, but I have been diagnosed with autism, and luckily I was diagnosed with it at an early age, which meant I could get through school pretty easily with very good assistance. Which also meant that I was able to easily have friends who knew that I had autism, and they were able to socialize with me. The reason why it's often considered a hidden thing is often a lot of people don't recognize it, and many people who do get diagnosed with it often get diagnosed later in their life, such as in their 30s, after college, or even when they're in their old elderly age. In my opinion, I don't think it should be hidden at all. Which is why I've publicly discussed it on my channel and my social media platforms. Now of course I had to rely on socializing thanks to my brother and my parents, but the friends that I did make, they're still with me today, And even though I've graduated from secondary college a long time ago, or college, middle school, whatever you want to call it elsewhere, I still see them like occasionally in my local town. It's very nice to see them when they pop around. And I never once considered my autism to be a disability, unlike some stupid f***ing idiots. To me, it was always my greatest strength and always gave me a good little personality around my classmates and all the people that I meet in my life. So yeah, autism, I have it and I'm not ashamed of it. The greatest thing that's ever happened to me. From Shady Poplio, favorite Metallica album and song? Well, I'm gonna go with the obvious popular answer, and that's Master of Puppets. Both the album and the song. I know it's a pretty plain answer because with a lot of Metallica fans, they always pick something that's not so obvious, or more personal towards them. In my case, it was always just Master of Puppets. Now, if we're talking about like a close second, I would have gone for Orion, which is on the same album, mainly because... yeah, Cliff Burton was just that great. But to me, it will always remain the signature title track. Probably one of the most epic thrash metal songs of all time. And even though Metallica had some pretty fierce competition in the albums and songs, especially during the 80s, it was always that song that just ran on top. Perfect metal song. I absolutely love it, and I still love hearing it. Also from Elias Hug, is there an Australian band or artist that you wish was more famous around the world? See, my initial plan was to go for Midnight Oil, because they're probably one of the most important Australian bands of all time, especially in regards to politics, which they brought to the mainstream. But of course, the reason why I didn't pick them was because they still had that one signature song, Beds Are Burning, make a really huge impact worldwide. Todd in the Shadow's videos is a perfect example of that. Go watch that video, it tells you exactly about that song. Now regarding the band I actually picked, I'm gonna go for Cold Chisel. Unlike Midnight Oil, they're more of what's called a pub rock band. Those in the UK will know exactly what I mean about that. See, the funny thing with a lot of Australian bands is that often I discover like how successful they are here, and yet I also discover how much limited success they have in worldwide areas, particularly the United States. There's always that one big goal for Australian bands to try and break it through towards the rest of the world, especially the US. If your band charts in the US with an album, single, or whatever material they release, you've pretty much made it. AC/DC has made it, Silverchair has made it, Tame Impala has made it, Kylie Minogue has made it. And also, unfortunately, a lot of undeserving people have also made it. Cold Chisel, they unfortunately only made one impact in the United States, with their album East, which only hit 171 on the Billboard. Boo. And unfortunately the band's breakup period, which happened during the 80s, also kind of killed their momentum overseas completely. But luckily the band is actually reunited with most of the classic lineup, including their lead singer Jimmy Barnes, who's honestly one of the greatest Australian vocalists of all time. If you do want to hear some Cold Chisel, I'd recommend looking for their Greatest Hits album if you want to get started, or even just check out the band's most well-known song, Khe-Sanh, which is the fortunate son of Australia, in my opinion. One of the greatest songs of all time as well. From Marique, I hope that's how I pronounce it. If there was only one genre of music you could listen to, which one would it be? I'm gonna say it again, jazz. Whether it's the modern freeform jazz that we have now, or the classics from the Motown era. Jazz just has no limits. Also from J-Man77, here's another incredibly hard one. If you had to delete from existence the entire discography of David Bowie, Queen, Black Sabbath, Chris Cornell, from every group, or the Beatles, whose music would it be?
What the hell are you? No! No! No!
You're really gonna cause this video to get a lot of dislikes, aren't you? Ah, damn it. If I had a gun to my head, Chris Cornell, I guess. Ow. Ow. I love Soundgarden and Audioslave. I don't want to remove them. I guess just like the one thing that keeps everyone alive is that they probably had even higher highs than Soundgarden debatably had. I really don't like this question. Damn it. Damn it. Also from Gabrielle Paiva. What's a song everyone loves that you can't get into? I was originally going to say Kokomo by the Beach Boys, but I discovered that a lot of people also really don't like that song, and it's regarded as like the stain on the Beach Boys' image. Like a certain album from them. I suppose the actual pick I'm going to go for is not so much a song, but more so a band that I don't understand how people like them. The 1975. Even at their best, I just never got it. I don't like Matty Healy's voice, I don't like the music, I just don't like the 1975. Especially Matty Healy, what a dickhead. Genuinely piss off. Also from Layla the Metallica fangirl. Do you think James Hetfield sounds like a dog barking on Metallica's studio albums? I do. Admittedly, I can kind of hear that, which is kind of funny. I think even James Hetfield has stated that he doesn't like how he sounds on those original albums, and that definitely explains why he sounds much more different at live shows. Not just in the obvious tunings that they use now, but also you can very much tell from the 1990s that James was beginning to really start to improve his vocal performance. I mean, I really do love the 80s material, but if I can say anything negative about it, I can probably agree with James that his vocal performance could have been better. I'm just saying. From that loony anime kid, are you a Weird Al fan? Yes, I absolutely love some Weird Al Yankovic when he pops my way. The dude himself is not only really funny, not just in the music, but also his hilarious videos that he sometimes posts.
Real or cake? Real. Real or cake? Real. Real or cake? Real.
But him and his band, his supporting band I should say, are also just genuinely really that talented, and even though most of their music is obvious parodies of songs, and he's not really hiding that either, he still does it just genuinely that well. Genuinely one of the best comedy music artists of all time. I'd also honestly recommend the Weird Al Yankovic story for some really good laughs as well. Daniel Radcliffe really just sold the Weird Al Yankovic character that well. I told you he was more than a Harry Potter star. From DJ PK26. This question isn't for the Q&A, but do you plan on continuing the Michael Meter series? Well, considering it's still a question, I'll still count it for this video anyway. But honestly, yes, I do have a plan to actually continue the Michael Meter series, even if it's still in the works as of this time. For those wondering what the hell I'm talking about, there used to be a spin-off Michael Rosen series that I did on the channel that was about me playing the Michael Rosen meme and giving scores to episodes of a TV series of mine. I had episodes on Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, BoJack Horseman, and Better Call Saul, which were all TV series I'd managed to binge during that time. The reason why I stopped doing them for a while is just because I didn't have too much more to binge, because when I want to do the series, I want to make sure it's like a finished TV show that I'm doing. Luckily, there is actually one on the horizon that you already know of, Stranger Things. Yep, as soon as Season 5 finishes and debuts to the world at the end of the year, Stranger Things will be the next Michael Meter episode video. I'd actually been binging it with my mum, who also really likes the series as well, so definitely gonna add that as a part of the Michael Meter. Probably expect to see it hopefully by January if I can, but at latest, the episode will definitely come out by February 2026. Now, whether the series will be a frequent occasion from then, that'll be up to me, especially if I'm trying to find more shows that have ended, but I'm certainly not against continuing the Michael Mears series. Just don't know where else to start from there. From Rocket Lux, favourite and least favourite music genre? Well, for the first one, again I'll just repeat myself, jazz, 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 jazz. Okay, I'm sorry I just ruined all your eardrums. That was just part of the joke. Go cry about it in the comments if you don't like it. It is what it is. Anyway, least favourite music genre. Now, that's a pretty hard one, honestly. I've already talked about how I don't like black metal or hair metal, but honestly, if I think I'm gonna go for it, crunkcore. Generally, what the hell is crunkcore? I just really don't understand why people like it, unless you're like a MySpace teenager. It is not a genre that has aged particularly well, and unfortunately, like black metal, there's unfortunately some truly sick bastards that have come from that scene. But I don't know, if you have like a good crunkcore band for me to hear, then just recommend it to me down in the comments. I know how to get into crunkcore. I don't want to get into crunkcore, to be honest. But if there is a good crunkcore band, would really like to find that out. Also from JMan77, if you had to move to a country where English isn't an official language, where would you go? I can actually answer this question pretty easily. Italy. My mother's family history actually dates back to Sicily in Italy, but it's not just for personal reasons. It's also just a desire to absolutely get embraced in the culture of Italy, not just like the Roman architecture, but also the pizza, the pasta, practically everything related to it. If I was to live there, I would absolutely love getting a job related to that. And also, the only places I've actually really ever gone outside of Australia is New Zealand, and I've done that 3 times at this rate, so I would really love to go elsewhere, maybe explore Asia, maybe explore Italy, South America, the US, heck, I'd even love to spend time in Africa. I just want to explore the whole world. Life's just too short to be living in Australia. And sure, Australia is one of the biggest countries in the world, but in reality it's only just one country, and that simply just won't do for me. I really do want to go elsewhere though. In short, I would absolutely love to move to Italy someday. Also from DJ PK26, this might be a random question, but would Willpower by Will.i.am be in your top 10 worst albums of 2013? I have not heard that album in full, and I do not want to, no thank you. But I have heard songs that I do like from it, like Scream and Shout, but I've heard that's like one of the few good songs off of that album, and I've pretty much grown out of it. However, I will say that I've heard the modern catalogue of the Black Eyed Peas nowadays, and I would be surprised if Willpower was somehow worse than those. So yeah, I won't be reviewing that album anytime soon, and if I do, you'd have to pay me. I refuse. Also from Gabrielle Paiva, favourite and least favourite Green Day song? I'll start with the least favourite just so I can get it out of the way. The answer is definitely Nightlife from the Dose album from 2012. Just a plain, boring, repetitive song, downright uncomfortable at points, and features a truly bizarre guest feature from a lady called Lady Cobra during the recording, who I've barely seen anywhere else, and just seems so out of place on the entire song, let alone a Green Day album. I know the Uno trilogy does tend to have pretty nasty lows as well, and Father of All also had some pretty nasty lows that were there, but I don't think any of them have gone particularly close to Nightlife. I cannot stand that one. Now the favourite track on the other hand is very easy for me, Jesus of Suburbia. It's off the American Idiot album, and I got to see it performed live when I actually caught Green Day live at Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. I obviously absolutely loved the song before I even saw it live, but I don't know, it just hits so much harder when you see it live in the stadium, everyone just shouting, I don't care if you don't, I don't care if you don't. Just such a magical experience. And even though there's a lot of glorious Green Day songs that I absolutely love, contrary to what some people would say, They're just really that good of a band when they're at their best, Green Day. I absolutely love them. And lastly, from Decalice. On a scale of 1 to 10, how Australian are you? The people want to know. Well, very easy to say that. I was born in Australia, I speak the accent, I can say g'day mate, I can drop the C word if I want to. I've been to Melbourne more times than I can possibly count, and it's better than Sydney in every possible way. And AC/DC has always been a part of my childhood. So yes, I am Australian, 10 out of 10. I'm based, I encounter kangaroos, I encounter snakes, and most of all, I terrify people with the drop bears. Or I could just say, I'm 10 out of 10 on the Australian scale. That's easy enough for me. That's round 2 done. I'll admit that this recording was probably a lot hard for me to do, and you'll likely hear a lot of edits here. God, there's a lot of edits I already have to do in this initial cut, God help me. But I still genuinely had so much fun here, and I would really like to do another one of these again. Though it won't be in November this time because I'll be pretty busy during that month, and to be honest, I'll probably have whole time to record during that period. But I can do another Q&A for December 17th, which is my birthday. So you can drop a comment in this video, or when the announcement comes for the December birthday Q&A, I'll let you guys know. Happy to have you here, everyone, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers!